My dear sisters and brothers in Christ, Christ is risen.
Truly he is risen.
I want to thank all of you who joined us this week and through Lent for our journey to Pascha. I want to thank, there's more people than I could mention. Of course, we want to thank the Diaconisa Charlotte. Amazingly, your voice has held out this whole time, and mine as well, but you had a lot more to do. And all of the assistants that came in and helped you this week. And today, Jeffrey David, you're with us. I want to thank, of course, our altar crew who took care of so many things here. Daryl Fox and Joey Maestas and all those who assist them today. Brian Stefanovich is here on their behalf. I want to thank our deacons, Deacon Eugene and Deacon Mark, all the work that they did. Deacon Mark, you got so many things prepared in terms of service books and put them up. I want to thank our parish council led by Maria Cheddar. Just all of the work they did to retool our parish in the midst of this pandemic, make sure that we were present in your lives and online. All the hard work of the parish council. Our Philoptochos, led by Danny Steeler, and all of the ways that they're reaching out through our COVID fund, the community kitchen, visiting the elderly, making sure groceries are getting delivered, making sure that the sick have a visit. I want to thank those who've been calling parishioners each week, touching base, checking in, making sure everybody's doing okay. I want to thank our IT crew. What would we do without the IT, huh? Matt Kramer, Nolan Brown. Matt, you went far and beyond anybody's expectations, making sure that we were streaming and live. And even this week when we had a blizzard and the internet went down, you gerrymandered a cell phone and a laptop, and you kept us going. So thanks for all your work. And to be honest with you, there's so many others. I mean, Anna Grace with our youth, who has been holding events and group meetings for them. Our myrrh bearers who've been praying every service, lifting up names in prayer. Shemesti Aina and the bay leaves and the vigil. And really, so many people have come together, and I'm so very thankful and happy that instead of coming apart and going dormant, we've been together and alive. What a blessing. And of course, I'm going to miss these times of being together this week. We had an opportunity to see each other multiple times a day. But really, last night, it just really hit me like a ton of bricks. I miss you. I miss seeing you and being present with you. And I've heard from hundreds of you that you've shared the same. And you know, there's a joy that you have, but a deep sorrow as well. I get it. And you know, that vigil lamp that we have on our altar, you know that for several years, without fail, we have kept it lit. And you know, some of the people like today, Brian, or last night, David, or last night, the Todds, they took that light into their homes. And I imagine somehow, some way, that light will be spreading into your homes and into your lives. But no, regardless, even if you didn't receive that physical light, even if you won't see anybody because you're in quarantine or you're immune compromised or whatever your circumstances, do not worry. That light will stay lit. We will keep it lit. And when this pandemic passes, we will gather with joy to light our lamps and be together. And, you know, secretly I have a prayer. We'll see if it should be granted that there is a service of the leave-taking of Pascha, which this year occurs on May 27th. Maybe by then, we'll see. We'll have to watch and listen and, of course, follow our bishop and the health authorities, but who knows? Maybe by then we'll be able to gather together and celebrate person to person. So I miss you, and I know you miss one another. And perhaps in missing one another, in missing an opportunity to be here in the church, we've realized just how precious and sacred and holy and essential our church is. You know, I heard a story about the people who during World War II, the faithful, whose churches were bombed, whose priests were taken away, often to concentration camps or persecuted or imprisoned. how they would go to their bombed out churches and they would take out the vestments of the priests and the sacred objects of the church, and they would kneel in prayer and weep, lamenting what they had lost. And then we know that at the close of World War II, the churches, even those without roofs, were packed. We look forward to that time where we can resume our gathering together. And, losing that taste of the body and the blood on our lips, perhaps we realize just how important it is to us, how our life is the church. I had a beautiful opportunity on my way in to call my parents, my wife's and mine, to wish them a blessed Pascha, to exchange the traditional greeting of Christ is risen. Truly he is risen. And as I was talking with my mother-in-law, she was sharing how it was a precious week. It was a wonderful week, but it was a bitter week to not be able to come into the church. And she broke down. Forgive me, Mom, if you hear this or if I'm sharing something too intimate or personal, but she broke down several times and she says, I'm sorry. And I said, no, it's okay. Of course you would feel that. Your whole life has been in the church. Our whole lives is the church. Our entire hope is on this risen Lord. And so, I was driving in and she was sharing that, and I told her, it's so odd because, you're driving in and you see people going about their everyday business. Like, don't they know? Christ is risen.
Truly, he is risen.
They're just driving to wherever, even though we're in quarantine. People are out and about. And you sense it almost like you're this separate people. This holy nation that exists within the world as leaven. Because and you have within yourself this incredible joy, even though right now I have goosebumps, even now, though we're not all together in person, I know that Christ is risen. And this has changed everything. And so you walk around with this almost, it's indescribable, isn't it? Even though we weren't all here, what we feel on this day, what we know through our faith to be true, changes our hearts, changes our minds, changes our lives, and we experience this day in a way unlike any other day. And we carry this joy and how important it is in a world that is so without joy, so devoid of peace, totally without hope, that we, the few, who carry within ourselves faith that Jesus Christ has risen from the dead, how important it is that we share this light, that this light that we have doesn't remain locked up in our rooms, in our homes, just as the disciples themselves were locked away, hidden, until the risen Lord appeared to them. And then with boldness they went out. So also, at the close of this time of self-isolation, we will walk out boldly with our light. And we will gather in faith and love and hope and joy to proclaim that Christ is risen. And to reclaim our place as the salt and light of the world. I look forward to that day. I look forward to that regathering with all of you. Now, I don't want you during this next week, during Bright Week, there's an old joke that Christ is risen and the priest is dead. My last day off was somewhere in the beginning of March. So I'm going to take a few days off. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
So if you text me or call me or email me and I don't get back to you, it's because I'm resting. And I'm going to do that for a few days and get back to work at the end of the week. But I want you to know that I will be thinking about each of you, and that next Sunday, often a Sunday in which many people sort of don't show up, right? The Sunday of Thomas. Maybe you can show up. And I think we're going to try and send out a Zoom so that we can be together as we're worshiping in our homes, watching the service. But I want you to know we're going to regather next Sunday, 8:30 Orthros, 9:30 liturgy. And then beginning the week after Bright Week, we're going to resume our classes and services. So you know, next, not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, we'll have Bible study. On Wednesday evening, there'll be a service that you can join in. We'll get all of this on our calendar. We'll send out emails so you know, but I'm telling you now so you can prepare. And on Thursday mornings, mid-morning, I'm going to do a coffee chat with Father Evan, something kind of informal to get together, just visit and talk. But next week, if you've got children, our youth program is going. Anna Grace has got things already organized. So next Tuesday and Thursday, we do have our Saints Story Time. You can check all that out on our online calendar and get the Zoom link. On Tuesday afternoon, our team discussion will happen. And on Friday morning, our college discussion group. So isn't that something? We'll keep that going. If you need prayer, the Myrbears are still there. You can send in your requests to Barb Finger or Robin Fergon, or you can email me and I'll forward it along, or just go to our contacts on our website and share your prayer requests. If you want to support our COVID fund, you can make that donation online. You know, and we're keeping the lights on, we're keeping our ministries going, our staff is all working, so if you can make a contribution if you're still working and able to do so, we sincerely appreciate your continued support. God bless all of you. Christ is risen. We'll see you on Sunday, if not sooner, with the youth program. And the week after Bright Week, we'll be back with a ton of programming and ways for you to connect, services and classes. God's blessings be with you all.